those excitement levels here. But on the mainstream, we also have Vitality taking on Mouse. And in case you guys want to have that going on both streams at the same time, twitch.tv/PGL, or just search PGL on the YouTubes for the 4K. And you can even rewind. But that matchup right there, you heard me right. Mouse versus Vitality. Only one of those two names are going to be making it through to the major. And that's, well, based on some of the results we've seen.
Well, a difficult run for everybody in this competition. A couple of upsets, but we'll see if there's one today. OG versus Eternal Fire. Major life on the line. One last chance for the two rosters as we head into the pistol of Vertigo. We've got OG starting on the CT side.
Oh, giddy up over towards A early here. Standard util for a bit of a set A piece. And Mantu on his lonesome just going to peer out for some information. B lobby is where the affections of Eternal Fire land early. And I think they just want to corral any aggressive maneuvers here. CT's looking for info on the other side. Would have been held at bay by that three-pronged little search party, but it is passive work here. You can see on the radar top left of your screen, it's a three-man B defense. You've got one floating towards middle of Valde. He's going to respond to try and help out Mantu towards A. They're crawling up, and Mantu, first blood, Amor's down.
And Mantu peels away with it. Confident stuff out of Mantu early on, and if he's firing, let's see you get fun. OG gonna have to deal with the remaining 4 players of Eternal Fire who now come up the rampway.
Oh, he's got another one here. Mantu's just picking off heads. Woxic's dead too.
Yeah, Mantu having a great time. He's loving it at the moment, and his teammates over here to back him up. Eternal Fire down to 3 players just like that. 2 going through the short side, 1 still left towards Crane, and that's Atara's leading the play forward as now they commit to the plant. Going down at least is the bomb plant, but they would love to peel away with the round win. They drop back into some post plants, and OG now had to play the retake. Goes on the bomb. Ooh,
that hasn't landed.
It has not landed in position. Actually, you can still see the feet here, and Calix under pressure gets pushed on down and still handling, is still up. X-Bot has been removed from play, though, as OG are going to take every single kill. No qualms about the pistol here. OG don't lose a single player.
Flawless stuff right there. And I'm just having a quick look at the stat lines here. The last time Flames played Vertigo was over when he was in endpoint, so that's obviously going back some time. It's just crazy, right? To be able to risk or take the risk on a map like this that you've never played for your major life. I know that I've already said that once, and I'm going to say it again. Nico would have played this map when he was part of Heroic, so there's no dangers in that regard. Mantu, I'll have a look and see what his proficiency is looking like on a map like Vertigo here. I
think the most important
believe it
would have to be Nexa, right? The calling game on
Yeah, they would do it in G2, right?
Yeah.
So a bit more familiar with it. Mantu, the last time he played this was with alternate attacks. Yeah,
that's
okay.
a while ago.
Yeah, that's back 2019. So, look, it's definitely a map, and we saw FaZe do this in the EPL finals against Ents, right? They floated it through, they prepped well, and they won the map. So if you're going to have these little games, I don't hate it. I actually love it. I think that it's a nice little maneuver and a nice little stance over towards this ramp position. They're setting up against this force fire, using the one-way smoke. Nico with 2, and they've just shut this one down.
Yeah, Flame stays committed, and so therefore it goes down to the Deagle of Calix. The initial kills go the way of OG. Nexus push down the B-Stars and gain ground. So if Eternal Fire want to go back that way, they would have to go into Nexa.
They're prepared for this, but they are slinking on back.
Oh, he's ready. He is absolutely ready for them to come around the corner. 1 single kill, but has seen the remaining forces, and now they can quickly rotate back. But yeah, they're going to get onto the site, no problems here.
There's 2 nades. Well-placed HEs here of Mantu and Valde could deny this plant. They're not getting it down just yet. The sound cue isn't coming through. They can get in position for the HEs. There's one. Oh, no, they've both been lobbed out.
Yeah.
Big damage.
Damage has been done, but bomb plant will be committed to. And now Woxic holding the left side of Generator Peak. He's now the only player left alive for his side. Oh! Stays composed for the tap to the head, but Mantu is just one better.
Yeah, okay. Well, good stuff here to be able to pick this one up, OG. I like the way it started there, using that deep scaffolding smoke as a one-way. That's not traditionally how you see the CTs defend behind that type of a smoke. I think they even had it landing a little bit wider, right? Because that smoke there is to block out the Nafany maneuvers, those one-way cheeky businesses that the Ts get up to. This is a double opener, so it almost gets out of control here. Couple of nice shots being taken from Woxic as part of this. He gets the trade onto Nexa and even gets a bit more deadly damage onto the site. Getting fired up early here. A buy can come back in if the Eternal Fire players want to play this. Yeah, there you go. It's a half purchase. This is still very threatening, right? They haven't gone all in like we saw Sword do yesterday on Inferno. That came back to bite them in the ass. But this is still a half investment and pretty risky as Calix is going to lob some early flashes out to deny the CT's vision. There's that smoke exchange.
And a swing out from Flames. It's wild, but it's got the first pick, and Nico holds off the aggressive play even more. And again, Eternal Fire down 2 players. This time, They haven't even got 1 kill back, so it is difficult on the weaker guns.
Yeah, so in a round like this, when you're investing, you want to make sure that you get a couple of kills or get the bomb down at the very least. Woxic's ahead of this, Flame's not considering it, and if they rejig, Matu also looking the wrong way, can convert the kill. So situation, taking control of a nice little boost to keep it jarring, and just one man left of xCloud to find. This is a good start.
xCloud is about to come around the corner with Tech 9 in hand. Should be no problems here for OG, at least treading this one out. Maybe xCloud can get one if they're not looking the right way, but any more than that should not be happening. Flames will make sure there's not more than that. 3-0 for OG, a good start here. And just think about how much this means to an OG roster who missed out on it the last time, right? We've had to see some roster changes come through. They missed out on that major qualification. These are young players that will strive their best to get here to this event, and they are now in a high-pressure situation.
I remember talking to Flames about it last time, and I think I had him and Mantu, and this was IEM Winter, which was the RMR last time, right, to qualify for the PGL Major in Stockholm, right? And I remember having him there, and I was having a discussion, what would your sticker look like? And he's there, he's drawing what he thinks his sticker would look like and everything, and he's still just such a young kid here. So yeah, you're right, it would be in the absolute world for these divisions, but the same for Eternal Fire representing Turkey, right? That would be insane in itself.
Trying to get the wall back. Legions of Turkish fans, I'm sure, are sitting in anticipation of this one today. See if that team can pull through and represent their nation. Turkey have never, you know, been able to go deep at one, but Space Soldiers, some time ago, did represent the nation of Turkey. Santara is a part of that.
I think Calix was in that mix as well. Yeah, they had Paz, they had Major in there, so
they even had their coach, Hardstyle.
That's right, yeah.
But this round, a nice slow burner. Cooking it until the meat is nice and tender as Eternal Fire starts to look towards the side of B. Nexa takes up position here alongside of his teammate further back in the site. And just waiting for this one to pop. Valde has the incendiary down and ready for utility to be used up, and here come Eternal Fire charging down towards Nexa's initial contact position. Flash keeps him at bay, forces him behind cover, and Tetris is not a safe place for Nexa to try and hide out. So Valde has got the help of Nico now coming in, but Eternal Fire, they're taking their time upon this one, and that allows Nico to play from default. Flash trying to get rid of his position, trying to apply some pressure, but they need kills here, Eternal Fire, and they're not going their way. Flames and Nico on the rotation back over have stopped that bomb from getting closer to the site, and with 10 seconds left, there's not a lot of time here at all for Eternal Fire. It is done. The round gets no closer to the site, and it's 4 in a row for OG.
Oh, they didn't opt to pick up the AWP right there for Mantu. Either they didn't see it or they didn't want it. The rest of them are just all going to take AK-47, so that's going to be curious. You can operate on this map without an AWP. It's not essential, right? It's not you don't need it in part of your defense of this one here, and they handled it. It was perfectly well timed with when Nico swung, because they were all committed to the fight. Nico picks on out, grabs them a couple of tidy kills. They'll get themselves an upgrade into an AK, and away they go. So 4-0 start, and those mind games must be already starting to come on in here, because if you're Eternal Fire, you definitely weren't expecting this one today. You picked in here as the punish. You've gone, they're going to let that through. Well, we're not going to allow them to get away with such petulance in our face. And at this point of the game, you're already stomach a 4-round loss, so you can't prep, right? What are you meant to prep in this situation? You don't know what their tendencies are. Maybe if you can remember where Nexa used to play in G2, you'd have some ideas that he's over towards the B-bomb site. But it felt like G2 chopped and changed their Vertigo roster every second map.
They're boosting. Try and get over this smoke, but smoke will cancel out their boost. This time needs to be bought here for Eternal Fire. They just slow things down a little bit. The pistols in this round, of course, just looking to try and rip away a few rifles out of the hands of OG, force a few rebuys and keep that economy quite modest. But Eternal Fire hasn't been the hottest start here on Vertigo.
I just want to see Amora and Zantara's get a kill, right? Just so we can see them being competitive. But look at this. Matu is behind 4 of them, and he's communicating all of this.
Well, he takes the first kill. Now draws all of them to look at him, and, oh, you do that. The Deagle is invited into the kill.
Curious that he went for that. I guess he just wanted to get something out of it. They have all the information at least, right? That's the one positive, but back and forth they go.
25 seconds as he now look towards Nexa on this B side again.
He's on his own here.
He is, but he's playing with some range here. He can peek out and use the cover of the double box in front of him. It's one, and of course, fine. Time actually swings on out. Oh, Nico needed a kill towards the back of the site, and without him getting one, Eternal Fire now deep into the site itself. That's the bomb plant now. Valde quick in the flank, spraying away, but no kill yet. And now the element of surprise is removed. Or as Harry said a few days ago, the elephant of surprise. We'll see if they can get into this one. Flames, it's one and more. Valde down and low HP here on the Eternal Fire play, but it's only Flames left to try and clutch this one. Quiet performance. He would love to get going today.
They're trying to boost.
They are trying to boost
he
up.
He could just defuse.
The
they can't see it.
Well, now he goes for the tap, realizes they're on the boost, and now can stick it, try and hold it. They have to round the corner, but he's got the cover. Flames just holds it, sticks it through. And OG at the round. Woxic did not compete to contest for that one. And 5-0 for OG.
All things considered right there, a great round from Eternal Fire. They kill 4 players to get the bomb down. They're going to take a timeout off the back of this, but that's OG almost letting one slip. And it felt like Mansu had the round in the palm of his hands. Takes a kill. I think he's a little bit worried about potentially getting flanked in that environment there. But he gets one and it spirals. It spirals out of control. So some weaknesses being felt here from OG. And I'm sure that Bishop, the coach over there for Eternal Fire, can smell blood in the water, knowing that they can pick up rounds just like that.
And this helps with our questions that we had about OG on Vertigo. The fact they're off to a 5-0 start, it makes them feel a lot more comfortable. It settles them into the game and puts Eternal Fire immediately on the back foot. It's just a great start here for OG, 5 in a row. And Eternal Fire, they've brought a lot of these rounds close. They have got the rifles out now, so you have to remember that was the pistol purchase in the last. Now the AKs, the AWP out for Woxic. That Mantu kill. Peculiar to take the first so quickly. Wrapped behind, found a few more, and the round probably wouldn't have spiraled out of control like this. Oof.
It's crazy to go for the boost as well with where they planted, right? So you can see that they were flustered in that scenario. Deep molly up the ramp, one back, and yeah, look, it's going to be difficult to be getting away with all that perfect util on a map like this. Yep. Not what you're looking for. The A-ramp smoke they threw also had a massive gap.
All right, Nico. One and more, and he gets lucky with a second to the smoke. Headshot to Woxic. That's the big green out of the round. Valde commits to the spray with no bullets left in the rifle, and they've given away the kills. OG staying committed there, maybe a little flustered. And this gives Eternal Fire a chance back into the round again.
Yeah, playing out these rotations, and I think this is where Eternal Fire are going to have the advantage. That was extremely wild commitment there from OG just to contend for that type of territory. Well placed Molly over towards the window position. It will start to draw out the rotation now, but the bomb yet to be planted and can be dissuaded. This is going to be well timed. We'll just get the digits in, but burning, and down. Calyx gives up his life for the plant.
Yeah, barbecue Calyx, and now next to holding for the mid play of xFlow, but the timing. Oh, so intelligent here for xFlow not to take that first kill, because they have no idea he's coming in from behind. Absolutely no idea. Looking the wrong way, and xFlow fluffs his lines. OG, another close one. Over commitments, but as long as they're winning by the skin of their teeth, the rounds will keep on ticking.
When he closes his eyes tonight, he's going to see that round, I think, xFlow. Okay, well, yeah, had an opportunity or two, and let's be real, this isn't clean Counter-Strike. Look how overcommitted OG were, like, as well as sitting the plant in that low HP, just gets melted away. xFlow not taking an opportunity that he had, could have leveled it into a one-on-one. Well, still, the buys are through. But this is a 6-round start here for OG, and another opening kill. Mantu just takes a dry peek onto Woxic.
They were so used to that utility being dumped down in similar fights ensuing every round, but dry peek from Mantu claims the first. Next to now holding for the boost over the wood. And Eternal Fire are putting forces over towards his B side of things.
Well, these nades here could be well placed. We've seen some teams fluff the lines before, but these are going to land perfectly in the face of Nexa. They're chipped on down to 62, and now they're going to start to get this boost assembled. Or are they?
Yeah, they're going back. xFlow has mid. Zantaras now goes back into towards ramp. Still 2 players here for OG. Flames is moving off, but we've got Mantu playing in similar position that popularized by Zaiwu. Playing in and around the smokes just from that tarp side, so you can peel away with one. They haven't gone around the corner just yet.
He's tucked in a bit more passively here, so Flash, well played, to force him back, an incendiary. Sorry, a Molotov to force him back, an incendiary of his forward to stall them out. So this is good to get the space they're looking for here, but 40 seconds, it feels like they're committed to A.
And Moore just walked through that, so he's down to 28 HP.
And it would have made a sound cue to the players above him too, so bit of a rough one there as they set up this tower.
Okay, Mantu, very passive position now from short. The Molly going in to remove him from the position. Oh, he's heating up. He's committed into the fires now. His own Molly making things difficult. But the boost up from Nico is perfectly worked out with Flames. Well, it is Mantu who's gone down elsewhere to Xantares. So everybody in that A defense crumbles. And there's the flank coming around the side. And Nexa coming back from CT. Valde's about... Ooh.
I think he was spotted here.
Okay, so the timing's worked here for Valde to get around the backside. Xantares has no idea. Valde from behind claims his life, and Callum short knows exactly where he is. Valde, and another round. They're coming close, but every single one of them are going OG's way.
And you see the AWP come out there as well. Valde's going to pick that up, carry it through, so we're finding some impact there from Mantu. But you can just see this is a map that OG don't play. It's almost a competition of who can make the smaller gaffes, because mistakes are being made on both sides. Like, quite glaring mistakes, walking through Molotovs, taking damage, getting stuck, missing utility, over-committing to fights. A second timeout called here, and understandably so. 7-0. Doesn't matter how you get to that major, just as long as you get there. And if this is what OG are looking to do, start bringing Vertigo into their map pool and removing Nuke, yeah, why not? I love the fact they've taken this risk in the veto. It doesn't feel clean. Like it doesn't feel clean, but it's also one of those things that you could argue from the desk point of view that if you are the better team, why are you taking a risk like this, right? But at the same time, if you think your nuke's rough, if you think it's rough around the edges, you have to take these chances. You have to mix things up, and it's something that there's no way Eternal Fire could be prepared for. So it's working out well now, but it's still a bit brittle. Take a look at the finances, take a bit of stock, take a bit of inventory right now. Valde with 5.1 has the most amount of cash to splash. If OG lose a round, Eternal Fire are back in the game, and they know that.
I want to see how Mantu plays this early round, because there's a couple of rounds he's gone for those strip, six down and ramp. It's mid presence here for Eternal Fire.
The thing with Eternal Fire is they're working out this CT setup round by round, right? They're actually learning what's on the other side of things. So when they are able to see, okay, yeah, look, this is Valde's mid, next is B, this is the A setup with Nico Flames, you've got the swing from Mantu on the AWP, they're learning, they're piecing this puzzle together, but it's very hard to do this in the middle of the game. That's why having the coach set the timeout to have that conversation is nice. Oh, Nico needs to be careful on these jiggles here. If Xantares gets boosted up and over, he will have a pretty nice fight.
Woxic also peeking alongside of him, so they should work in tandem from a lower and elevated position and make it difficult for that elevator player to get anything out of it. Flames plucked out of the round.
That's the opener they're looking for here, Dinko, right? That's a change-up. That's only their third opener so far.
Now let's see if they can convert it. It feels like every round has got into a messy situation. Eternal Fire want to keep this one clean. They go back to Mantu again.
X-Flag can throw out this molly again. He's lining it up. He's lining it up in the ladder room right here. So he's going to be mollied out of position again. Here it is. You have to respect it.
As soon as you hear the glass, you know you have to move.
Exactly.
So it gives a second for Mantu, but the utility's not intended to get the kill. Obviously, you want it to, but it is just getting him out of the position.
This is Eternal Fire's round to lose. Mantu's passive on the side. They have enough smokes to execute. X-Flag is on the mid lurk. This is their round to lose right now.
Mantu needs to get a pick. Utility is going to make that difficult, but climbs on top. Flash is brilliant. Gets him off the angle. Now X-Cloud, they have no idea. They're not ready for it. Oh, quick shot from Mantu on the turn back. And now he wants to get over the top. He's trying to deny, but Woxic held for that play. And so the plant does go down in Eternal Fire. He's got to fend off the last two remaining players. The Nexa springs forward to no avail. And Valde, with a different look, takes the AWP to a kill, but plenty more to find. And getting the AWP into the next round.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, it has to be the right call here. He's trying to get away. He has actually managed to get further back, but Xantares tracking him. Valde could be ready for this. He is. Oh, Xantares still with the rifle beats him out, even when the scope is in.
Okay, yeah, you could just see that was destined to be their round there, and look what it's done. The bank balance is absolutely broken down from OG here immediately after one round from Eternal Fire. So this is good. They've actually taken their timeouts in key moments. They've been able to work out what can work, and the thing is, if you're Mantu, you need to stay more committed to that fight. In a number disadvantaged situation, you can't drop back and play retake. It's just not possible. You could see him trying to jump up over headshot to see if he could find a body or two, but the flashes were suppressing, denied any of that action that was available here, and they're just going to go with an eco. A hard eco, 5 USPs, walking to round number 9. And this is a chance for Eternal Fire now to start working on a bag of rounds here. The T side is going to be even more difficult for OG. The CT side, they were probably thinking we need to come in here and get double digits. It's still possible, still very possible. But these mid-round adjustments are going to be hard. We've already discussed them being flustered in certain environments.
I think it's very visible that they want to get the rifles out as much as possible because they realize they need those double figures, because you have 6k here on Valden, nearly 7k, no Deagles invested into. You want to keep as much money on the board as possible to get into those rifles.
Well, the loss bonus was at the bottom of the barrel, right? That's what happens when you have the wins, but we've been highlighting how close the rounds have been. And just because of that, it is still going to be tough for a buy. Valde will need to drop over towards Mantu in the next round. Nexa will be operating with something light, or they might just take a partial. They might take a full eco into a partial buy, because they're not going to have all the nades, all the goodies, all the rifles required into the next round to play. So Eternal Fire have a really good chance now to get back into this game.
OG are looking to just try and contain them in the sight to the end of this round. Maybe just swing out the final few seconds to try and catch them out of position. Now they run onto the side, looking for picks. Tara's going to hold them off, defend them off for kills. The damage done might move one, and it will. Gets rid of Zentaras.
I think they probably were looking for a couple more in that same fashion, right? But you're right, contain them to the side, make sure they take those fights, and make sure they go down with that bomb explosion. But the bomb will go off, second round now posted, and they will be able to buy. So Valde drops an AWP across into the hands of Mantu. And they get the purchases across the board here. But look how light Nexa is. As a B anchor with only one smoke, he is going to need the assistance of a teammate. Mantu only has the AWP, so what type of aggressive fight is he going to look for? Really key utility used by Xbox. Oh, this is a biff.
Oh, it is. Calix swings out towards the stairway. Nexa gets caught blinded by Zentaras in the open. Now Valde's under so much pressure, they know where he is. They've got him pinned. He's throwing a smoke down. Actually, we'll get out of dodge for the time being.
I should just execute B here. Why not? You have so many advantages in a round like this and the space to work with, but...
Oh, if they boost. Careful here. This could be drawn back. If they slow down the play, allow that extra rotation back for OG, there's a chance that you pick them apart if you try and play it slow again. So Eternal Fire not going for the boost, they're actually alleviating pressure away from B.
Yeah, X-Cloud's utility in this round is the most important utility that they're throwing. Every round he throws the gap smoke, and then he does this Molotov. Maybe we can highlight it if they go for the same play again.
But it's forced Mantu to change his position.
He needs to take a different line, doesn't he?
He's going to play from the sandbar. This is still a strong spot to be in. You can still get away with one. A lot of space to play with. Mantu. Oh, good flash. The utility's really cancelled out the presence of this AWP.
They need to address this. I feel like Rugger needs to take a timeout and talk them through this situation, because literally one Molotov is what's forcing Mantu into a different position here.
So now they're going back to B.
Well placed.
Oh, that nade is brilliant from Nico. Flames now close towards the construction area, so we can actually rotate back and help Nico quickly, but Nico needs to deliver. He needs at least one pick from this position. They might even nade him out. They're going to use some utility just to try and force him into the white fight, but they're burning! And they're lining up! Nico takes down Amoran Zentaras. X-Flood does make his move through middle and finds the head of Mantu, but X-Cloud and Walksake, they need to play together with 10 seconds left. X-Cloud needs to make the play, and now with his teammate down, the chances of winning the round are none. And X-Cloud gets caught before the time at least. But Eternal Fire start the round with the advantage, but slow down and allow OG back in.
I think that's one of the last times that we'll see Eternal Fire after a pick go back towards B, right? Because they've just walked into a stack right there, and they've got to be questioning why. Why have we just walked into a stack? We've made it look exactly like a previous round where we didn't A-execute. So a well-handled gamble coming out from OG here, reading the play well, and beautiful stuff from Nico onto this double, stalls them out, drops the bomb, and brings them into the round. Flames comes up, hits some big shots, and that is going to be the half secured now, 8-2. Guns back out for both. Still a great position for Eternal Fire here.
Whoa, Walksake not too far off. The chance they're on Fledge, that would have been a big opening. It's down into his position, it's good.
If they're reading the play, right, if they feel that they're one step ahead right now of Eternal Fire, they'll stay committed and they'll use this type of utility to slow down that crawl. Smoke going to be deployed over towards the bridge. Another incendiary close to corral any members further and further back here. Great utility set here from OG.
It is brutal. Eternal Fire have no control towards it at all.
They boost a player up, which is seemingly like what they're going to do. This is a common clear, but the positive side of things here for Flames is that silence them 4 and another smoke drop down to stall 20 more seconds, but it's only going to buy them to about 50 seconds before this retake will come on through. Eternal Fire need this real estate, right? They can't do anything with the round this boxed in. They're so passive, they're starting to understand that. Calix is trying to work on a bit of B space, at least apply some pressure, but this position, it used to feel extremely strong, but it's a hard clear.
It's a hard angle as well to get the pick and get away, so take one. Oh, they swing! And he gets a double from it. Flames have massive output, and that's the bomb loose as well. Woxic has to use utility, can't go into this angle with an AWP, right? You need to send the rifle forward, you need xFlower to create that space, and actually, he's gone in and found the ball.
Oh!
And now they come back into the fight, Woxic with another chance! Nico finally puts him in the ground, but Eternal Fire are turning their attentions back over towards B. Nex is still here, flying from Generator. 20 seconds left as he brings Valde to help him out. Flash again, delaying the cross, and Valde has the angle. They need to use the smoke to cut off that information flow, and the bomb gets across to default. If xFlower can commit to this, it puts Calyx in a position where he can't play for the round. And xFlower shouldn't get away with this, but he's finding headshot after headshot. And now Nico being bombarded with bullets, and Calyx takes the aggressive stance. Eternal Fire, they turn that round around and somehow found their way through to a third.
Yeah, you can see what happens here to OG, right? They're just going to be stuck in this limbo state where nobody wants to find their economy here on the CT side. They win around, great. They lose around. This is with a double open. This is a 3-on-5.
This is unreasonable to lose, right, for OG? It's just crazy how this happens. Mantu, that killed them. And that's what creates a big opening for Eternal Fire.
I feel that one there was a bit flustered from OG as well. They rushed the piece. The bomb goes down. They had 40 seconds to work with, but they pushed themselves through the one angle. They lose the round, and the Turkish side now can, wow, surely secure themselves a fourth. Valde has invested into a Deagle, the rest onto the USPs, and xFlower has been lurking towards mid. So the real fight here is between xFlower and Valde. What's the timing on this? xFlower, nice shot.
Lovely shot.
He's been good.
He has been. He has been, especially in the role that he has. He brings the space into his middle on these lurks. Good kill from Flames. It's one on the Zentares, and Woxic quickly trading it out. But I think it's important to let the guys at home know, Chav, this is not just any game of Counter-Strike, right? There's so much pressure on this.
Yeah, and this might be obviously affecting some of the decision-making, not only that this is not common territory for OG. So at this stage, 8-4, the score should be reading in 3 kills time. I feel that they need 10 as a minimum to win this map. I think 8-7's not enough, 9-6 not enough, 10 rounds. It still means you're going to have to win 6 on that T side, and that almost feels the pistol has to come their way. I don't know how they're going to manage this one here, OG, and you can only imagine what the mental side of things would happen if you allow this map to be floated through, you lose it, and then you go on forward to Dust 2, which is definitely a map where Eternal Fire can get some work done.
The game itself has been scrappy in gun rounds, but in terms of the economy game, it hasn't been that scrappy. We haven't seen crazy half buys, force buys. It's been mainly gun rounds here, and Eternal Fire, 4 rounds to the board, maybe starting to feel like the legs are a bit stretched this time.
I think you'd be comfy now at this point, because you can do the exact same thing to OG one more time. Even if OG win the next round, and then you bounce back and you win the following, you basically have the tail end of the half completely open to close it out, right? So I think that Eternal Fire, even though the score doesn't look great right now, it can very soon. That's an important kill to find. If they can pressure xFlower, right, you're starting to identify here some of the not weaknesses, but the potential weaknesses that OG can find. If they take the mid-prong out of xFlower, like if they go and search him out, that's going to remove that Molotov that we've been talking about to push Mantu out later, right? And actually, that might not even be a conversation, because Mantu's rocking an MP9. He doesn't have the funds to get out the AWP, not even enough to get through a rifle. Utility's still going to be light on here again for Nexa. Mantu the same, even though he has gone for that lighter investment. They do have a defuse kit. But this is a turning point in the game. You can see this last patch of rounds, the last 5, OG only converting 1. If you want to check out what's going on that main stream, it is Vitality versus Mouse. I won't give out any spoilers here. You can see at the top of the screen right now, Dust 2 next overpass if we need it.
It's the same story for every team right now. One and done, one and move on. Mansu down in towards the ramp, more aggressive this time with the MP9. Playing close inside of the smoke. Let's go down against Taras. Taking up position to the left side of that big box. So, see a little bit of pressure OG. They were hanging around to see if anybody was to push through that smoke, which could be commonplace. But Eternal Fire respecting the ramp because they mount the utility OG used in the previous gun round.
I think if they just regroup and go back with another A execute, Eternal Fire have shown the proficiency and the ability to be able to get away with this. This is the smoke they used earlier in the piece here that operates as a bit of a one-way. You can see the legs of Eternal Fire. Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh, the wall bangs are working out, and Flames has been hit by it. He's down to 9 HP.
Doesn't often do that much damage, so yeah, Woxic landing some big shots right there. Really big shots, and he just continues to pepper away here.
So you've wasted all your utility, you've drawn that all out. Now the short molly goes in, the flash, around the corner for Nico. It's just one though.
It's not really enough, is it? Because it's just Flames on the side, and he's mortally wounded right now. Even a little bit of flak damage through the boards. Mantu's taking space. The flank's nice. We've seen Volda be able to get away with a couple of good rounds on the flank here, but they need to rotate over to A now. Like, not in a couple seconds, now.
Yeah, it depends how quick he can be on this flank and how strong the hold is. Flames gets cleared immediately. There isn't much resistance in the site. When these smokes come up, well, it's looking very good here for Eternal Fire, who now put the bomb down. They've still got good post plants to short. Oh, the ramp even spotted Woxic, considers the flank. Able to catch Mantu upgrading his weapon.
Have to say.
And they have to here, OG. It's another round for Eternal Fire. So the 10 rounds that they have still possible for OG, but now looking extremely unlikely.
Yeah, this is coming back to bite them now, isn't it? It was looking good early. Could only sing their praises when they were picking up round after round. They were finding themselves at that, what are we talking here, 7-0 scoreline. But now, starting to look rough, starting to look out of place, all sorts, not knowing how to handle certain situations. And they were being fortunate in some of their rounds too. Volda did a good job to pick up multi-kills coming behind. They had a gamble stack towards the B bomb site, which paid off for them as well, but nothing's working at this juncture. 2,400 as the loss. They might have to take a save. That should secure 6 unless these two rifles can find something. And then the final round of play is going to be a big one.
Yeah, needed. I'm surprised it didn't come earlier, to be honest.
I agree, yeah. Especially like after you lose like the first 2 rounds. When you know how important this CT side is, I thought that they would have wanted to get Rugger on the mic a lot. You got Nico on 15, Flames on 14. On the other side of things, the top performer... Oh, hold up. We got our stat drone coming into play.
The spark plug. Nico.
Does that mean like he starts... You need to start a spark plug to start the engine,
So
right?
he's essential to the team, right?
Yeah.
Because you take the spark plug out.
Yeah, in DayZ, you take the spark plug out of the car and then no one would be able to drive those bad boys around. That's it. Before they added keys. Niche reference
Nico,
for about 12 people.
Yeah, DayZ. People still play Chad. Don't worry. Spark plug though, you take that out of the team, perhaps it doesn't function. Nico does play some of the more dirty roles. He's being flashed in towards the ramp a few times. Would love to see some multi-kill action out of Nico towards ramp. It feels like that ramp area is a big problem here for OG. They've tried a lot of different looks towards it as well. Heavy utility, dumping it down. They tried some AWP setups. Then that got countered pretty quickly. Eternal Fire looking into mid this time. Molly out towards construction. The Valde has taken a more passive approach to this, and they're going to draw some players back. Nexa opens it up with a headshot and his aggressive B play. This might put some pressure on Eternal Fire to try and get around to Elevator. Look how many players are here right now for OG. This is looking quite good. Bomb's nowhere near the pack here for Eternal Fire either. They have to go back and get that.
Good decision, though, as well. They would have been going into this blender. They've been given a lot of room, not given the fight, which is very telling that they are just waiting around those corners. And well, knowing that there's 2 M4s and some pesky pistols in play, and you already know where Nexus is, you can start to piece this one together. Volda still playing over towards mid right now. They're very, very scared. They will need to send out an individual for some information because, again, they've given up ramp control, and by doing so, it's going to mean a simple execute onto the site, and you can't win from back here. They're hoping that this 1 or 2 nades that they have on Flames and Nico can deny that plant or at least do some damage. You're not going to win the round from back here, boys. I just don't see it happening.
They begin to approach. They're just going to be cut off by the utility, so therefore have to play retake. With the weapons and lack of utility, it feels like a retake. Unlikely, so they decide, let's deny the plant. Let's just take him off the plant and now maybe give it a bit of space to OG to play with. But there's no maneuver off it just yet. Now they charge forward. Into the fight they go and into the blender perhaps. As the kills for Woxic and more ring out. Woxic is under a bit of pressure now towards the sandbars, but a strong position to hold. The shot on the cross. Second chance will be his. And Woxic still displaying output. It is in Flames now. Trying to figure out where Zentaras is gone. Has already selected the head of Woxic. No secret about where Zentaras is now, but confirms Flames no longer on it. No kit in his back. Has to move forward into the play. And the Flames just trying to draw the fight, but the time is ticking. The round is done. Flames has to concede, and Eternal Fire have 6 rounds. Double figures to close the half, now impossible for OG.
It's just not happening, right? Like, as much as it gets close and it looks like it's a contested round, there's no kit in play. Right, the nades get the damage, they deny the plant, but even in a 3-on-5 environment right there, the entire time, I knew Eternal Fire was going to win that round. Like, there's only certain setups that you can get away with on a map like this, and I understand it was a lighter buy from OG, so they made the best out of a bad situation here, but It's just a map where I feel if you're not committed and you don't keep it jarring enough, they are just going to get away with, especially Woxic, understanding that a power position for an AWPer is that sandbag. He just picks high, picks high. Like, what are you going to do? What can you do against that?
Especially if you have no utility. I mean, it's just, you're dead to rights, right? You can't shoot back. You can't spam him down. You're just waiting for him to peek. Another OG tactical timeout. It feels like right now their initial game plan worked, right? But then Eternal Fire, they play the map more, they're more comfortable in the affairs, so they found the answers very quickly to the adaptations. And OG haven't played it enough to know the answers to the adaptation that Eternal Fire thrown at them. You see Mantu struggling to figure out, how do I approach the ramp now? Because he gets mollied out, he's getting flashed, he doesn't know the answer in that situation. So that's just the lack of experience here for OG on Vertigo.
Yeah, that's the risks that come with a risky maneuver like this, isn't it? Flame's going to flash himself forward. Going to look for some spam damage there, and immediately had enough of what he's seen as Woxic. He's going to now retool and regather. Moore's going to join the pack as well, and setting up towards close B here. Flash, a molly, and this is going to be a B play. You see this come out of the side of players every now and again. The flash over from X-Flat, just go.
Yeah, Zatara is going to run it. Nexa. Oh, blinded, can't help his teammate out, but he's got to check. Nexa would have needed a double. Goes down to a more. An Eternal Fire continue to bombard these rotation spots for utility. Nico's down to 3. Just 3 HP left. That net's going to be good. That's going to drop him more and deny the plant. So buys OG a crucial few seconds. Calyx now out of commission for the bomb plant, but will get it down this time. OG have to play the retake. Another unlikely one with X-Cloud on the flank around middle. They aren't even considering this. No one's watching. X-Cloud surely has this now around the backside. Sprays away. Gets one. Flames now low up against Woxic. AWP in his hands. Smoke and a kit on the hands of a young man. Throws the smoke down into the site. It's not on the bomb in particular, but does give him an avenue to tap and draw. He's actually wide, so Woxic wants to take the P2 kit. It's sticking it, but Woxic closes with a P2 Thrifty through the smoke. And that is going to be the round for Eternal Fire. 7 locked in at the half.
Beautiful stuff. What a great recovery here. They were down in a massive hole, 7 consecutive rounds, out the piece with the pistol, and now OG are going to be feeling a little bit foolish about this. They have to now do it on the T side. It's not going to be easy for them to operate anywhere near as well as what you just saw the side of Eternal Fire do. They were showing a bunch of different faces. The utility was on point to deal with any of these aggressive maneuvers. That little execute towards B at the end. You can see how powerful that flash was, right? That comes on over the top. Instantly pops. They don't see it coming. Nexa cannot see a bloody thing. X-Cloud almost makes a bit of a meal out of that one there.
There's almost flashbacks to the other round he had.
And Woxic will finish it off through the smoke there. But this is now where it is going to become truly difficult. And for OG, maybe it's going to be starting to feel like that. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. They've been here once too many times before. It's fast mid.
5 sets of Kevlar for OG.
This often doesn't end well. It feels like it's a good little choke point because you expect so many players to send themselves over towards A, but
USPs trying to deal with the construction lead, and they plunge through. It's just a more taking the first kill of play, and now everybody loose in difficult positions here, but OG actually pulled a couple back. Oh! All right, Nexa! That's a couple of kills to draw your team back into play. And Woxic now, he will be checked eventually. Nexa goes down, his work done in the round, but Woxic now needs to clutch it out, and they're still fighting. Still fighting Woxic, who now climbs up on top of construction. Shoots to drop the steps away, and now they've separated OG. Still went out the fight. Valdeo closed. Nexa, they realize they need that pistol, and Nexa leads by example to get it.
Yeah, well, look, if you can get 3 kills every round, then maybe, just maybe there is a chance. This is both pistol rounds now going in the favor of OG. The conversion is essential if they want to pick up an upset victory on Vertigo here. Eternal Fire going to be force investing into this one. Doesn't look like it. Freeze time, oh, I say doesn't look like it. Very late call out of spawn to buy. Very, very late. 4 Deagles, a 5-7, couple of HEs, couple of smokes to work with an early 5-1, and yeah, Flustered with the buy. Well, Flustered is around, just getting absolutely smothered here. Imor's dead. Woxic is known. The cavalry's coming, but can it get here in time? Flames jumping around like a jack out of a box, just going to take down one more, and they even know that Calyx is around the corner.
He's into it, Valde. Remove his skull.
I feel if you're force buying that late, like, they were buying then with like freeze time and finish.
Yeah, it's kind of a last-minute decision. When you have a last-minute decision, you absolutely do not have a plan for the round. You just go out there and try and hit some shots, and that isn't the best to leave spawn with. So, yeah, this gives
some
OG.
wobbles, mate. Some wobbles from both teams here. You can see this now. Eternal Fire with that flustered force bite are now just down to pistols again, right? And this time it won't have the armor. And what they invested into there was meant to be a shot here to level the game back, but they've actually given one over to OG. Unless they can make this P250 for Xantares, the Deagle for a more, they've got a HE on X-Cloud and a Flash for Calix. If they can make this work, and it is going to look better put together, right? They have an idea, they're together as a unit. Calix's Flash could be essential as part of this. You can see how deep he is. He's back over towards the heavens. You can see this being lined on up. A jump, throw, and go. And actually, it's in the right place.
Flint charges in with a Mac-10, and there shouldn't really be too much resistance if the pistols give them easier fights. When they separate them and chop them down, actually Eternal Fire slipped away with a few kills. Not bad. I mean, that's kind of the goal in this round, is trying to do as much damage as you can, and you get 2 out of it, so not too bad at all. But OG up to 11.
Well, they did more with that than they did with the force buy, right? So that's what I'm saying. If they just took a little bit more time and consider their force buy there, but regardless, OG 11, Eternal Fire 7, guns come out, Woxic into the big green. Rifles for everybody over there on OG, and now we get to see what this T-side approach is really going to look like here. How well drilled can it possibly be? Mantu's going to take his AWP out for a jaunt too on this T-side.
Important signs to see if OG will continue to compete here on Vertigo. Flames, his job in this round is to run up short. Oh, the Calix has the chance of the kill. Does open it up, but immediately through the yellow tarp is spammed down by Xantares.
Big fight from Xantares there. You can see how committed Flames was to that, looking into the wall, dodging the flashes, the smoke, and the extinguish right there. So they do have the space, and this is going to apply so much pressure, this defense. Woxic's going to push out towards the sandbag. Doesn't have a smoke for an extinguish, but has Xantares alongside, who can drop that one on out, so needs to stay tethered to his teammate. Cannot go too far. There it is, and not even going to go for the extinguish, just going to walk and backpedal away from this. So they've retained so much space here.
We've seen what Woxic can do from this position.
They think it's clear.
And that's the problem, right? They think it is clear, so they will go unchecked. And even when that moment of panic comes through, Xantares' rifle might just rattle away. Oh, Mantu considers the sandbags and is quicker to the kill on Woxic. Now Xantares has to alleviate his initial position and drop back into the side. They have committed over the smoke. Valde's peering down, flashed away, has to drop and give away that position. And Amor now puts pressure on the flight forward. Valde holds it off. OG looking good here. Xantares now moves back into play. Again, that power position. Sandbag for the AWP is good for Mantu. Xantares left just trying to figure out, is there any way out of this? Is there any way out of the round? And the answer is yes, in a body bag.
Yeah, that was really well handled there. And I think Woxic trying to take that Hail Mary shot onto the player making their way up scaff, up towards short, gave up his position. Mantu immediately punishes there with the jump up. And that was fantastically handled after that opening pick and exchanges. This is where it began, and you could see Flames there. He was hesitant to start taking the fight through the girder. Those seemed to soak up the bullets, wanted to make sure that he could get it over the top. He does. Traded out immediately, but that's a really important round right here. That's a huge round. I was worried about this T-side here for OG, but it's starting hot to trot, and they have managed to get themselves into a 5-round lead, which might become 6. They just have to deal with a couple of upgrades here, a couple of MP9s, some Deagles, Woxic at the ready, and a big shot there.
That's lovely from Woxic.
Look at this pack roll mentality through mid, though.
He might get another one here, Woxic. He's going to cross over to Elevator instead. And yeah, pack mentality, bomb mentality. Flames, not the leader of it, sends the bullets out. Charge over construction, second kill. Ooh, Mantu needs to be careful here. He's bringing out Amor, and Xantares getting the kills back. And OG, surely you can't lose this one. You can't drop the ball on this. Nico's been hurt out. And Amor trying to catch the angle around the generator. Nico draws the fight back in the second, picked up on Xantares.
Bomb down.
Calix is going to find the bomb, and now a better weapon. Nico has to close it, has to bring him down, but Calix runs right into the fight and wins it for Eternal Fire. That is an opportunity now presented, and Eternal Fire will rub their hands together as they know that is a miracle round.
Look how scrappy this is. It's a crazy game, right? It doesn't stop. It's just high intensity in the backline. Somebody always being able to find themselves the thorn in the side of this. Great shot for Watson to open things up. And the trades kept falling in their favor. Nice one there from Flames. He does find two. Nico as well with a double. And those two names, it's important for us to sing the praises right now. Two of the lowest rated members in the entire tournament, Nico and Flames, are stepping up when the team needs them most. They can buy again, they can stay threatening, but this is giving Eternal Fire a chance back in. Calyx aggressive this time, isn't going to find the opener. Flames again gets the better of him.
This is big from Flames. He's having a good performance today. It's better to see him in this impact in the early T rounds. Again, his performance in this tournament has been so weak. But showing up where it matters, Chad. That's good.
Yeah, and that's almost the perfect position to get the most out of a player like Flames. They throw a lot of utility. He gets to evolve in the thick of it, gets to make the decisions on the fly, and his aim has always been great. So in terms of the opening duels, he's 5-4 right now.
Oh, a shot on
did
Amor.
hit, yeah.
He goes down. Amor has to get away because he knows he can't stick around and take damage from nades. He would immediately be pulled out of the round. So very passive setup here for Eternal Fire. If OG just execute on the site, well, they're going to be held behind smokes.
Yeah, you can see Zentaris knows that. He's playing ahead of this. You have to stay in one of these prickly positions. You can't just allow it to be a set piece execute. That smoke, actually quite shallow, will allow them to reside and take control. You know, they can see that it is clear up close. They do have to worry about players leering behind it, but the spam on through is giving an indication of maybe how this setup looks, and he is flushed back. So simple utility, lots of bullets, and into the site they should be able to trundle here.
When you put everybody behind the smoke screens on the defense, when they're a player down, you have to play aggressive, and this is the move you need. Zentaris gets flashed in, nearly comes away with a spin back. The flash would have been perfect, but Zentaris' next cloud end up getting caught. And for Eternal Fire, it has to be the drop back. They have to concede. They don't have the weapons or the players to compete for this round, and now OG, 13 locked in on Vertigo.
Calyx is going to have to reel it in that aggressive position. Sure, he won out the 1-on-2 earlier, but he's given up 2 openings down to Flames in consecutive gun rounds here. So really is just going to have to stop going for that fight, and you're going to have to look for it in a different way, right? You're going to have to jump off of the crane position, maybe drop that top ramp one way, which you can do. There's so many different options for defending this ramp on the CT side, but you just definitely cannot hope that the flashes will work for you to peer on out. Flames knows how to deal with this, right? It's something which is very, very common. Those waterfall of flashes, if you look into the wall, you can dodge them, you can turn them. Shot from Woxic will land. His position will be noted, but OG are going to allow them to hold on to these 2 guns. So an M4 and an AWP, plenty of cash for Calyx remaining. Drops can come on through, and it can be a strong-looking buy for Eternal Fire here. The same to be said for OG. It's going to be easy with that win bonus, but 13-8, just 3 more rounds for OG. And a win on this map is going to shatter the mental of Eternal Fire. A loss for OG, it could do the same. Just the gambly nature of this, allowing your permaban to come on through.
And this has worked out for OG so far. And at this point for Eternal Fire, they realize this is their best chance. If they take this map, they're very close to getting a shot at that major, but the hot shot is turned up today. Flames definitely looking much better today, and it's hard for a player to go through this tournament, realize, okay, we've got ourselves in a position where it's do or die. I'm a player that's underperforming. To get yourself in the mentality to perform when it matters most, that is a great sign for Flames.
Yeah, well, it's Flames and Nico, the frag leaders in the server right now. 26 for Flames, 18 for Nico. So both of them having a banger of a game right now as we do get back underway. A very pivotal round in this. If Eternal Fire lose this, it could be done. And Dustin, Zentaris has found Flames this time. So there you go. There's the change-up. Deny him that space. Big from Zentaris. The entry fragger is in the grave. Now a 4-on-5 number disadvantage. OG have to stomach. Nice little nade as well. They continue this flak damage. Going to chip Man2 down. And they can peer back now. Now's an opportunity to play that more passive style.
There's that one-way setup. You have to be worried about that. Zentaris could be playing in and around this, but Nico just moves forward. Through he goes, but Zentaris, oh, massive round here from Zentaris. 3 picked up. He stops the initial attack completely for OG. Single-handedly, no one was even helping him.
Yeah, well, they did have a change-up, right? We said there needed to be one. Now Zentaris puts his hat into the ring of a big performer, and guess what? Oh. Yeah, you heard that one, and Moore knows he made that step, so he's going to go back where he once came.
But that's actually worrying now, anyway.
Yeah, the sound cue alone is going to burn so much time. And actually the reposition, I wonder how much of this was intentional from Amor here, because he will get... Oh, man, Man2 has just been absolutely juked, whether it was an intended play or not. Volda in a 1-on-5. Now, this is the first time that Volda has ever played an official on this map. Let's see if he can get a 1-on-5, shall we? He's got 35 seconds to do so. looks like he just wants to save. So Valde, come on, man.
Come on.
Make it exciting.
Gotta give us that payoff already. Valde holding. No one coming this way. Eternal Fire. I mean, this is a round they desperately need to close out. It would have been 14 rounds for OG. Money wouldn't have been that good for Eternal Fire. I've got lost bonus building, but Xantares realizes a little change-up needed. And I love the awareness in the early round not to overextend, possibly into the AWP as well. He went right on the edge of the crane as far as he could go to take the fight on Flames, but didn't go far enough to go down to the AWP. So a good round there from Xantares, playing around that one way too. But I feel like you can only really get away with that one time, if in that exact fashion. So we'll see if they approach it differently here, but good run back here for Xantares.
The smoke wasn't up either as Flames is going so quickly, right? But it could just change the pathing you want to take. So now it's the mind game between, I suppose, Xantares and Calyx, how they want to deal with this ramp and how Flames wants to entry frag. Now they're having a big discussion. You can see Valde turning around, looking at the coach. Need to have a bit of a chit chat here. Mansu can buy next to the same. Nico has enough too, and Valde can drop, but I didn't see the purchase coming on through. Here's more on your screen. Now, if you do want to check out that the A stream right now, the Mouse vs Vitality game, a do or die, one of those two will not be at the major. It has chopped and changed in the early stages of that half. Mouse on their map choice of Nuke are actually starting to look pretty tidy. Frozen having a big boy performance, 24 kills to his name. Go and check that one out, twitch.tv/PGL, or if you want the 4K action, maybe you got a 4K television at home, go check it out on YouTube.
Very fancy if you have that.
They did buy. Okay, was questioning whether or not they would get the purchases on through. Mansu into an AWP. Flames is going to wait this one out. See how quick he was in the previous. This time he's going to wait for the smoke to land. So, yeah, and that's the difference. Okay, so Calyx had the space. I know it was just a shot through the smoke, but by changing the pace of that, Calyx is now fortified. It wasn't that immediate fight. So, Flames going from the hero with 2 opening kills in back-to-back gun rounds has now given up 2 opening deaths in back-to-back gun rounds, and this now is going to become a real problem. Seeing OG operate with a number disadvantage.
Oh, Mansu's timing. Oh, smoke going up as well in his face now. OG, they need to source the kill back. It needs to come from somewhere. Mantu desperately trying to find it, but I don't think he's going to get that opportunity. We now need to focus on Amor, who gets aggressive in the middle again, alongside the flash. Realize this is a player tucked in that left side corner. Tries to force Valde into the wider fight with Molly. Valde just trying to play discipline, doesn't want to extend, and eventually will get out of dodge.
Well, the good thing is there for Eternal Fire is they clear out close mid, right? They put so much pressure that at least they know that there's no direct fight around the corner. They've held them at bay for now. They can regather, retool, and get ready for what is a B hit right now. Next, they're trying to play on the cusp of this smoke.
Here they come. Next at the front. X-Flood still playing for quad, and Amor will draw the attention away, setting up the peak for X-Flood. The bomb now loose. No one's alongside of it. That's the problem here. OG don't even have a player at the top of the stairs alongside Nexa. They're still held back, and it feels like they have to concede.
Yeah, the save here. It's a rough one to take, and at this point, if I'm Rugger, the coach, I'm starting to get very worried. Now, as I mentioned, Calyx needs to reel it in. The same for Flames. He needs to reel it in over towards A. He can't just keep running up and giving away that opening out. He is a space creator, but where does the next individual who is going to take that space come from? Do you just wait out all the utility now and try and play out a mid to late round scenario? Do you want to try over towards B, taking a bit of an earlier fight? Do you want to give Mantu some space to work that AWP? But if you get smoked off at every choke point, where is he really meant to go?
Now, the problem is here as well, they don't have a buy, right? You've got 3 players saving over, but the rest of them have like 2k in the bank right now.
They are going to purchase, though.
They are going to
so
get
there's a Galil, yeah, there's a Galil for Flames and a Deagle to come out. You're right, though. It is very weak, so it has to probably be more of that stalled out nature, right? This is the exact same thing that happened to OG in the first half.
Yeah.
A flyer of a start with the first pistol, the gun rounds. They were up to some big streaks, but it just loses its potency as the rounds go on.
Yeah, it's the adaptations for Eternal Fire. They have a lot more looks about them here on the map. They're clearly more comfortable on. And OG, they couldn't find the answer in that first half. This time they need to find a response. They've been outplayed around. They've been figured out.
But if they just wait and they don't give up an opening pick here, they can just apply a bit more pressure to get this ramp back, right? You only have Xantares in the jump and Calyx just posturing out some shots towards the top of Scaff. Now, Xantares needs to be so careful.
He has to be very careful, though. It feels like over these last 3 rounds, Mansu's just really trying to get an opportunity for Xantares to overstep and make a mistake, but it hasn't come through. Calyx not holding back any longer. He's pushing down. Trying to play it in around the smokes. Now, it's risky business here.
You have to just wait this out. OG have no choice. Eternal Fire, if they're perfect with their util, can hold them at bay almost this entire time. There you go, recharging Calix with another smoke. He can get up to those similar hijinks here. He is just holding this one in hand, and they want them to come forward now. You need to know how good Eternal Fire are right now and holding on to incendiaries and HEs. This would be fantastic to disrupt an A play. OG are going to have such a rough go of this here. Eternal Fire, the Turkish side, are doing great.
Yeah, they have a smoke ready to go down short.
Wall banged on the jump up.
Yeah, Nexa just gets spammed down. That's the way to claim a life. You don't even have to see anybody for the first kill of the round.
30 seconds, they know it's coming. That utility now can be limped out systematically just to hold this back. 20 seconds, you're in a coffin right here, OG. Do you go or do you save again?
Do we just see the save? That is the question here. It seems a little strange to see that come through again, but they're going to use the smoke, but they have to go into Zatara as it brings down two. Calix helps them out, and it's a shutdown for Eternal Fire. They are in full control of this game now. The score may dictate otherwise, but it is Eternal Fire in the driver's seat.
No, I agree. I agree with that sentiment wholeheartedly. The only way that OG are going to be able to break into this is with more of a scrimmy play where they find a gap in the CT defense, because right now, just this play coming out, the spam shot is like, yeah, lucky, right? And look at the side of the sandbag next to is on. He's going to be really, really upset with that death. But the next two from Zentara is perfect, and Calix will mop up the final frag. So this is looking great now. You can really just feel the oxygen being sucked out of the room over there for OG. They're trying to deal with this jump boost as Zentara as well. He's not there immediately. He goes for the peak. Calix has got some room too. And they're just going to take these fights. Round after round, the confidence is starting to build.
Zentara's throwing the Echion down, clearing out the ramp, forcing OG back. Do we see a little bit of a pace change perhaps for OG in the next round, Chad? Or
it might have to be heavy through middle early.
Yeah.
I think that if they try to find a weakness in middle, right, and this is the thing, right, they don't have the same utility sets available that we saw xFloud throwing, right? That's what they could do within their mid to late rounds. I think that was so good out of xFloud in their default tier. Now look at this. They deal with A. They come back to mid. They've got 3 players here to deal with this. Woxic in tandem with Calix right now. There's another player over towards B who can help worst case scenario, but another clean sheet. Eternal Fire are looking hot.
Yeah, we see that for Woxic in mid. Maybe a mid weakness does not exist. We'll see if OG can figure this out. Their last tactical timeout being used up now. The last time that Rugged can get on that mic. The last tactical timeout found no response, Chad. It found nothing after that, so...
They just don't have anywhere near enough depth, right? They were hoping they could get this one done with prep. Maybe a couple of strategies here. 21 kills for Woxic, 21 for Zentaris. Now those two have been the highlights in stepping up. Calix has also been chipping in. xFloud and Namor haven't really had to do a lot. They haven't had to do a lot so far within this second half of play. But an eco bash like this is going to continue to get the confidence flowing. Easy shots for Woxic here. He doesn't miss these. Just pipping them off one at a time. 4 big kills for Woxic right there.
Yeah, the lack of depth clearly visible at the moment. OG's initial game plan in both has started strong, but once the answers were found for Eternal Fire, OG have been unable to adapt and find their way back in. And now we're just 1 round away from Eternal Fire tying this one up. It is going to be the walk up through A quickly here for OG. Flames once again takes up position, this time committing to the early fight. Falls to the walls here for Flames and just tries his way up, but straight into the fight versus Calix will once again give up the opening. Calix continues to spray, double as they line up. OG knocked out of the round again, straight away. As soon as the round begins, it's basically done. Mantu and Valde can double up on ramp all they like, but the amount of fight still left to have, it looks so good for the Turkish side to take 13 and tie this up.
Yeah, this is problematic now as Amor continues to scale forward here, taking more and more real estate off of the final 2. Mantu and Valde have been able to find a bit of an avenue right now, but as they enter the site, they have to worry about 180 degrees. That molly well placed, the extinguish will give up the position, and they do have this space. They might get Zentaris transitioning back if he's not ready for this.
Well, he's going to be ready now, looks back, but Valde still with a kill. Removes the life of Zentaris. Now Woxic looking to be countered with utility, but he hangs around. Perhaps overstays this welcome, and Valde not ready for the AWP to take him out. Now Mantu, usually a player with a big green in his hand, has to win the clutch.
Look at the flank, it's
and
already
the flank is close down below, and the rifle not good enough anymore. There's always that pesky player, loves to try and get behind them. And Mantu out. OG handed a huge disadvantage at the beginning of the round, and it's now all even, 13-13.
They need to be thanking the fact that Valde and Mantu battled into that round enough to get the bomb down. With the max loss bonus, they can get another buy coming on through. But still, the strategies, it's so limp. They don't have anything to work with here. You can't just keep running into this wall, and Calix now is starting to get the better of Flames. He's been able to adapt and adjust to the way that they've wanted entry into this space, and sitting in the Flames, Woxic took a big risk there. But it's a risk that paid on off, and the final throws of this back towards A. seeming very desperate now. I don't love what I'm seeing here out of OG, but this is great from Eternal Fire.
Since we brought up Flames rounds ago, he hasn't got a single kill since then, Chad. I feel like Caster's Curse has come and taken him out. He's going to be peeking down towards the ramps. Once they're up, spams are down. And nothing coming of it just yet. So, for the first time in a while, OG will maintain all 5 players for the first few seconds of a round.
There's that deep smoke being limped on in. Calyx used this earlier to push on down and get a one-way. Might get a free fight against Nico here.
Nico is holding forward, but doesn't really have the angle wide enough there to deal with Calyx.
Yeah, I think it's a one-way as well, so he has to stay tucked in. Cannot risk that type of a peek. And on the jump peaks, Zantara saw a little bit there. Lots of talking out of him. They are scaling forward off of that space.
Yeah, Eternal Fire have done a really good job over these last few gun rounds of not putting themselves in uncomfortable positions. They immediately drop back. There's no indecision about how they want to approach this. Utility held again. 45 seconds. That is so good. So Tars did get a kill to the spam a round ago. We'll see if he can do it again. Calyx forced into the short play. Flash is good, and finally Flames brings him out of the round. Traded up with Zantara, but he's under pressure, and Mantu will trade him out. Spam is good, but not enough damage done, and now Valde will be blinded through the smoke. In more comes, spots out the bomb, and that's loose for a few moments longer. X-Cloud's coming in from elevators, so no flank coming in. No flank to worry about here for OG. Utility
4 HP.
It's so good, but it's not a kill. It still keeps the player up here for OG, and Nico found the frag. Warpstick hits the deck, and finally, round, after battering their heads off a brick wall, OG able to come through for 14.
This is the thing, though. They have to be able to pull that off again. It's not a similar situation that OG confronted within their first half of being brittle, right? It wasn't for them whatsoever. The whole situation regarding Eternal Fire was they kept the economy low. And they were able to break them here. There's so much money right there for Eternal Fire. I think maybe a bit of a misunderstanding of how many timeouts have been taken for OG there. Don't have any more to take, I believe.
They are done. Absolutely. Used every single one of them up. Calyx in the short. Starts to spam on down. Gets a kill through the smoke. Zantara is the player that'll do it to them.
And this is the issue right now for OG. They have to get the bomb down again. They just don't have the cash.
Another one.
They're just being picked apart behind the smoke. They don't even get a chance to see their opponent. These pesky silenced M4s, the lack of traces, the damage that they can do. A 3-on-5, a minute 20 on the clock. And again, even though OG pick up a round, it's straight back into these losing ways.
Yeah, it's so rough here right now. You find the response in the previous round, and then straight away, they're taken out by smoke kills. You need some kills back, and Valde, he's looking to charge forward and take some ground back. He's up too short.
Ready for the, he was ready for this.
He was ready, but now he's about to be flashed into ramp. But Valde's really up behind. Catches the utility, and Calyx still gets his gun out. Zantara actually hits the deck to Flames. I mean, it's not done yet, but OG definitely not looking great here. Calyx will swing out. Just Nico left. Eternal Fire answer back, and we're tied up yet again.
Wow. This is not going to be easy to take this one home if you're OG. What are they meant to do? They have 4 players above the 4K mark for AKs. Nico without a whole lot. And at this point, it's just been A. This looks like a bad matchmaking team who only have one strategy, right? Like they're only able to go A. They don't have anything to do for a B here. They haven't really been able to find too much pressure mid when they've defaulted there. This is why a lot of people don't like watching Vertigo, because some teams only have a one-dimensional approach. And guess what? We're heading back to that side of the map again.
Here we go.
It's a coin toss.
A again. Zantara peeks down. Calyx gets in the midst of the smokes again, committed to short. Swings on out and already Calyx again with the double. Nico and Nexa both go down, and Calyx wants another. He has just done this to them so many times. Finally, Mansu will cut him down, thin the herd a little bit, but Zantara, it's a different look from him. He's going to play from sandbags. I think his head's been spotted down. Flames does see him, but not taking the kill is a big problem. Zantara's able to swing out. Just Valde left, getting spammed down. Utility, but bars mid HP, and finally taken out. Eternal Fire head to 15 rounds. One more, and they've taken map 1, and they'll be one single map away from their spot at the major.
Wow, this risk here from OG. Sure, the scoreline is going to read close, but the ramifications are going to be the same. They'll be one map away from being knocked on out here of contention of yet another major, whereas on the other side of things, Eternal Fire, the circuit representation, want to take them back to the glory that the Space Soldiers once had. It's 3 Galils, it's 2 Mac 10s, it's up against bloody M4s, AKs, full sets of util kits for everybody, and Wox's ever-present AWP, and why not? Let's go one more time, we got nothing else.
This time at least, they haven't died to Calyx in a double kill fashion, and they haven't been killed through the smoke. So it's going better than last round.
But watch the harassment of utility now. This is where you're about to see another layup.
Boost.
The boost, the utility, the spam on through. It's all going to be a different look. And OG, I think they were hoping to find those fights. The flash, the pick, the damage not there.
Well, at least the boost hasn't found anything here for OG, but Woxy comes over to play now. Nexa falls down. Bomb now loose. Eternal Fire with the first 2 kills of play. And just mere moments away from taking map number 1. Valde trying to fight it back. It's a good kill for him. Can it be overtime for here for OG? Suddenly kills all come in, and it's just down to X-Cloud. Having to try and close this one out. OG have the advantage, and the bomb will go down. X-Cloud has been great so far, but 2 flashes live in the first half, but quiet in the second. Hasn't had to do a whole lot. His teammates have been shutting this down, so the clutch, the retake. They spot him, but it's a 1v1.
Oh!
Nearly gets the chance to take down Mantu, and now goes into the fight. Flash is not good enough and spots him retreating. X-Cloud knows he has to get over to the bomb, has to apply some pressure to the tap to try and draw Mantu into the open. His barrel spotted, X-Cloud's got the kill. He's got it done, and Eternal Fire take map 1.
Huge stuff right there. And X-Cloud, you mentioned it, he hasn't had to do anything. His teammate shut down A time and time again, called upon in the clutch. It gets close. Overtime, you could smell it, but steps on up with a big 1-on-2 situation, and now things become dire for OG on the other side. They have to bounce back on their map choice of Dust 2 and go to Overpass to get it done. The Turkish side stepping on up. They were challenged. They were called out. They said, hey, do you want to play Vertigo? Yes, we do, and they make it work.
Yeah.